fire from the pilot. If you don't, then you need a 48-hour candle. It could be 72 also. They sell them. They charge a fortune for them, but look, this is for nothing. You need a 48-hour candle. You light it on Friday. It will burn. It will burn until what is it? It's going to go for 48 hours. It will burn for Saturday and for Sunday, so you can still light from it Sunday night. It's a 48-hour candle that you light it on Friday. It's going to go through Saturday night, and it will go to Sunday night because it's 48 hours, Saturday and Sunday. So you can light your candles
from an existing flame.
Sunday night, existing flame for Monday. If it's only a 24-hour candle, it's not going to make it. It's not going to do it. It's going to last, right? Yeah. You're going to use it twice. You're going to use it actually 3 times. Yeah.
What if you have 2 24-hour candles? You light one right before Shabbos. It'll last till after Shabbos. You light the second candle.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you why not to do that. You're right. You could. I stopped using the 24-hour candles. Many times, for your sake, whatever. I stopped using it because there's a number of instances where they don't last the 24 hours. And if it doesn't last the 24 hours,
then you
got to go to your neighbor or something and see if they have an open flame. See if they let candles you have an open flame or whatever.
And it's questionable because a non-Jew cannot light a fire for a Jew.
Well, you can transfer. Saturday night you'll be able to transfer fire yourself, but you can't start a new flame. You have to transfer. You can't start a new flame. That's a good question, Red Monkey. But I stopped using those 24 hours years ago. I just use the 48. It costs a few more bucks, but it's worth it to have that security.
You can also take a glass cup and fill it with oil and put a wick in it and make your own 24, 48-hour.
Yeah.
Because oil usually lasts a very long time.
It does. That works too. That works too.
We got a question over here.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can.
You could use a 7-day candle. I know somebody who does that actually. Use a 7-day. You could use that, yeah.
Yeah, better to be safe than sorry. Better too much than not enough.
7th day, you can still light from it, which would be Saturday night for Sunday. That's the second Saturday night for Sunday. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that would work. That would work. Yeah. Anything else? Okay, I took up my wife's time here.
No, I want you to stay because there's things I'm going to be asking you.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
Do you want to sit here?
No, I want you to turn the cup towards me. Let's see if it works.
You have another question there,
I'm coming. We're coming. I'm just fixing the camera. Let's see if I did it. Yeah, I did it. Okay. There you go. Who wants to ask a question?
It's me.
Okay.
It's about the nuts, making an act of Shabbos, whether you do or not. I wanted to know, is there a specific number of what you should do or you should not? Because I know it's 39, and I wanted to know if there's a specific number for every.
For each labor, yes. There are 39 basic labors that are forbidden on Shabbos, and tying is one of them. And each one of those labors has related labors to it. Just to answer you quickly, for instance, you can't plant seeds on Shabbos, right? To make something grow. That's one of the labors. It's called hazoreah. Could you water a plant on Shabbos?
No.
No, because that also makes it grow. So watering isn't a separate labor. It's related to the labor of planting, making something grow, preparing something so that it will grow.
Even if you have a little like desk lamp and you want to put the lamp on the plant, you have to do it before Shabbos. You can't do it during Shabbos.
Because that will promote, thank you, so that will promote growth. The light, putting the light there promotes growth.
Okay. But I wanted to know if there's a specific number from the list of the 39.
I'm not sure what you mean by a number from the 39. The 39 activities: tying, cooking, hunting, weaving, sewing. Yeah, tying is one of the 39.
She's asking if the different labors have a specific number, or can you find various lists where the numbers are different?
It's an exhaustive study. It's in the Code of Jewish Law, which will list the related labors. I don't have a set number now. It's a large number. Of course, it's a very large number. And it's a challenge sometimes to see if an activity on the Sabbath comes under one of those categories. But that's an exhaustive study, Carla, and that's why we don't usually give the number. We study the individual ones, but there is a number to it. There is a set number. It's in the Code of Jewish Law.
Okay, so
you're very welcome. Our pleasure.
My husband's going to stay here with me, so if you have questions for me or him, you'll be able to answer. And the reason for that is my talk begins today with what is kosher? Why is kosher? Why do we have to be kosher? Why? What's the whole Megillah with that? So, as my husband mentioned, the 39 labors that they used to do when they were building the temple in Jerusalem, and even the temporary Mishkan in the desert, there were labors that were done, and so that's what they call the labors that cannot be done on Shabbos. So this is how we know about the Shabbos laws. But then, what is kosher? Let me before I even start with all that, let's talk about the fact that what does eating kosher do for me? Well, besides the fact that kosher is very healthy, for example, when an animal is killed in a kosher manner, the animal must be 100% calm and tranquil. It can't be freaking out like in a lot of the farms where they kill animals with treif meat or non-kosher meat. So when the animal is completely calm, doesn't know it's going to get killed, then we have umpteen laws on the knife that's going to kill it. Because that knife has to be so sharp and has to be exactly in the right place so that when they do a slice, that the animal's rendered unconscious immediately. Therefore, the animal does not suffer for people to eat it. So, because it doesn't suffer, that adrenaline that goes through all the non-kosher meat for the animal freaking out is not in kosher meat. Adrenaline is not healthy to eat. Okay? Yeah, I'm sure if you all are online right now, it means that you have a computer. Look up what adrenaline does to the body sometime. Oy. So this is just kosher for the meat. So now we're going to talk about what is kosher. How does kosher affect me spiritually? Kosher affects me spiritually because that is the foundation that I need to be able to elevate spiritually. To be able to grow, yes, I have to study Torah. I have to understand what I'm learning. I have to do all these other things. I have to commit a certain amount of time to study every day. But that isn't going to function if I'm not eating kosher. Eating kosher is the foundation of the body in order to acquire the ability to receive spiritually in order to elevate. Elevate meaning that we go to higher madrega. Madrega is Hebrew, I believe, yeah? The higher levels spiritually. Once you have that foundation and you begin to study, you're going to see how it's very profitable, your studies. You know what I'm saying? So this is another reason why kosher. But then, why we don't mix meat and milk? if I eat meat, I have to wait 6 hours, and some groups are 4 hours, but the majority are 6 hours before they can have milk again or anything dairy. Why? The pasuk in the scriptures, and for those who need the number, call me after class. I'll look it up for you. I'm sorry.
You shouldn't cook the young animal in milk of its mother.
Right. Do not see the calf in its mother's milk is the verse, and I believe it's written more than once.
Twice.
No,
Yeah.
twice.
3 times. 3 times.
3 times.
Right. 3 times.
It, you know, if God thought that you were tired or you didn't hear, so he repeated himself.
It's 3 times.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Lil.
One for eating, one
Actually,
for cooking,
Elisheba.
and one for having. You mustn't have benefit from it.
So
It's 3 times.
that's the
It
base.
meant not to cook the calf in the mother's milk.
Correct. Thank you so much for your help.
You mustn't cook it. You can't have benefit from it, and you can't eat. Of course, you can't eat it. So if you cook meat and milk even accidentally, you can't give it to somebody and say, you could use this for your dog. Can I have a few dollars for it? You can't even do that. You have to throw it out.
So
And the pot has to be kosher.
and then the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch states that if you ate milk or dairy of some sort, like on Shavuot, we eat cheesecake and then we rinse our mouth and then we eat meat. Some people wait an hour, but the majority rinse their mouth and eat the meat. So after milk, you can have meat, but you cannot have meat and then have milk right after. There's a 6-hour waiting period. So why all this stuff, you know? First of all, there's a research done, interestingly enough, on a health level, that when there's meat in the stomach and milk is introduced, that it can, God forbid, cause some medical issues. And I don't like to get in any more extensive than that because we don't talk about sickness, we talk about health. Elisheba, you want to say something?
Well, I'm following the same practical, I'm being pragmatic, what I want to say. You cannot serve Hashem if you're not clean. It draws you closer spiritually and physically. There's a big difference between being a person whose stomach is functioning well and the humors that emanate from their mouth, their body, their sweat, whatever. So it's convenient, practical for the here and right now, even if you want to elevate, to be observant in things that enhance your life, that make you more pleasant to be around, sanitary wise, and how all that eating affects who you are. Because if your stomach is grumpy, you're not gonna.
I'd like to,
Better to say a person.
I thank you for your participation. I'd like to go in a little bit more deeply into this, which will help us. We keep our commandments, whether they make sense or not. And we understand that God knows best what is healthiest for us. Not because science figured out it was healthy. We know that He knows it's healthiest. Who's the best? Who's the greatest doctor in the universe? Who is the greatest doctor in the universe?
Hashem is our healer, says the Torah.
Right? Medical science can only go so far, and it messes up often. The Almighty
Somebody want to say something here?
Hang on 1 second. The Almighty is the greatest doctor, but why is He the greatest doctor? It's not just because He can do anything, but what does being creator, how does that help? If you made something, you know what you put into it, and you know what's best for it. A person who invented a new machine, he knows every screw and bolt, everything he put into it. And he tells you, plug it into the house current, your regular current, but don't put it into where the dryer current is. It's double voltage, you'll burn the whole thing up.
Oy.
How does he know? Because He made it. He knows what He put into it. He knows what it contains. The Almighty wants us to be a holy people. He knows which creatures are usable and which creatures are not. To the non-Jew, only has 7 commandments. They can eat whatever they want. The Jew has to live a holy life, a life of Torah, a life of fulfilling commandments, a pure life. Well, the Almighty tells us, don't eat this junk. I created it. It's there for a purpose. You could use it for certain things. Yeah, for sure. Okay. You could make a football maybe out of a pigskin or something like that. Don't eat it. Do not eat it. Why? It's known to be very tasty, the pig or whatever it is, the ham, whatever, etc. I know what I put into the pig. I know what I put into the horse. I know what I put into a cow. I know what I put into a chicken when I made them. And there are certain things that are healthy for you. You can have a pure and a healthy life. And that's the diet that I have given to you. As far as killing, slaughtering the animal, the Almighty told us how to do it for his reasons. It so happens it's the most humane way to put the animal out of its life. The most humane. And from time to time, there's an objection, and they start some anti-Semitic program against ritual slaughtering, against Shkita. And it always fails. It always fails, thank God. Do you know this also? The anti-Semites come up with a whole challenge against circumcision, which is one of, course, our basic commandments. Comes up from time to time. The Almighty is just showing us, appreciate you live in a free country where you can open your mouth and say, this is my religion, this is my belief. And the founding fathers of the United States, they're throwing away the Constitution. Freedom of religion. You worship the Almighty. So what I wanted to leave you with, I gotta let Reverend Siniska continue, is all the commandments are for our benefit. To the Almighty, it makes no difference. He loves us. We chose to keep his Torah, to accept and keep his Torah. So the Almighty tells you, I want you to be healthy. Not just medically healthy, which every other day and every other night they change your mind. All of a sudden, salt is okay. When for years and years, salt, no salt, no salt, no salt. They come with an apology.
What about eggs?
We're sorry. Eggs is another one. We're sorry. Really, unless you have high blood pressure, you can have salt. You can have eggs, right?
No,
One of my
eggs.
congregants, I used to have a congregation. He had to use Eggo. Ever hear of it? It was a substitute for eggs. Couldn't have eggs. Now they say eggs is fine.
No, they
So
don't say
they
it's
changed
fine.
it.
It has all the vitamins, just like meat.
It's good. So they change their minds every Monday and Thursday. The Almighty knows what's best for us. Eat with moderation and sensibly. The Passover diet, you have to change your whole kitchen. And the Rebbitzin put it very simply that chametz is very similar to sin because it represents something that blows itself up. I'm a big shot. I can do what I want. I don't care what the Almighty says. That's what chametz represents. So for 1 week, get off of it. Get off of it for 1 week. I use the example of, I gotta let the Rebbitzin continue. I use the example of a person who's taking all kinds of medication. Many medications are very harmful today, by the way. So this person's taking 13, 14 pills. That's not an exaggeration. People take more than that. 13, 14 pills, and they got a pill box with all these little drawers and everything, etc., etc. The person gets so sick, you know what the doctor tells them? The doctor says, stop everything, cut everything out. Get everything out of your system. And after you're all cleaned out from all that stuff, we'll decide what's healthy for you. That's what the Almighty is saying. All year, you can eat chametz, you can eat leaven. Use it for a proper purpose. Use it to be healthy. Use it to beautify the Sabbath and the holidays. But for 1 week, I want you to get off of it for health reasons, spiritual health reasons. Get off of it for a week. Cut it out completely. After that week, use it in a proper way, in a sensible way. Rebbe Yisker, I took up your time. I'm going to let you take
Don't worry. There is no, all the time belongs to Hashem.
Okay, if people have more questions, please ask us. We're here to help. We want to help. And we're very, very, very appreciative that you want to learn so much. And we hope that you continue. Do you have anything more you want to say?
Yes, of
Go ahead.
course.
Go ahead.
I have a whole Megillah here that I read.
Okay.
Okay. To continue on, Uh, I spilled something. That's why I had to get up and whatever. Anyway, uh, so kosher is a prerequisite spiritually. And then we're going to go on to, we crossed about why meat and milk and meat, and that we can't mix it and all this. And so, what else is the issue of kosher? First of all, is there any questions about general kosher from anybody in the class at the moment? Okay. So, for example, cheese, does it have to be kosher?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
Because if the milk is curdled, because cheese requires curdling milk, to sour the milk can be done with other things other than the tribe of pigs, or for that matter, a clean animal. But you cannot be for sure how it was processed unless you buy kosher cheese. So,
Let me clarify what you're saying. The coagulation, in other words, milk to coagulate and become cheese. These days, the cheapest way for them to do it is to take enzymes from the stomach of pigs. And,
or you could use vinegar.
right. So what happens is that you can see it on the package where it just says enzymes. It doesn't say whose or where.
Exactly. Isn't that sneaky?
But on the kosher cheese, it says plant enzyme or
Kosher,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll say kosher on the label, and therefore you know that what you are purchasing, everything in it can be eaten.
Right.
So they don't have to break it down to every single ingredient. If the kosher label is on the packaging, then you know that the cheese or any dairy, whatever they were using, has gone through kosherization. It's clean to eat. It's okay.
Exactly. So that's important because a lot of people, when they become religious, they think any cheese is good. It came from milk. How could it be bad? You know, and they don't realize that the processing is really unbelievable. In the same manner, um, every year Rabbi Blumenkrantz comes out with a new book on Passover. Why? Because things are changing in our world. Like, used to be that chocolate was made with milk and you couldn't have it without. And then they started making parve chocolate. So parve chocolate means that it has no milk inside and you can have it after meat if it's parve. So there are various things that continue to change in our world, and they investigate everything before they write the book. Therefore, like last year, styrofoam was a no-no, and the regular paper that was not styrofoam was fine. But all of a sudden, I'm hearing like Rabbi Schusterman, who is a Chabad rabbi who teaches on YouTube. He was giving a shir on Pesach, and he said that styrofoam's okay and that the paper's no good now. So I'm like, what? Oh yeah.
Don't use either. Don't use either. Styrofoam is not good.
Yeah, that I know, health-wise.
Not good. But a lot of the paper that they use is recycled paper. You don't know where that paper was.
Actually, the recycling, Mrs. Davidson, right?
No, that's her name is Elisheva, yeah?
Oh, Elisheva? That's her
inside.
Oh, Elisheva, I'm sorry, yeah. The actual remaking of the paper would be okay. The problem is when you make products out of paper.
The inks they use with the paper.
Very little problem. I'll tell you what the problem is. The problem is
I would not use it.
Okay, that's fine. And please don't. Nobody should use paper this year. But here's the problem with paper is this, which Rabbi Schuster brought up too. Well, it's good for traveling, but not for Pesach. But what the problem with paper is that the paper products when they're making the cups and the dishes and things like that,
Becomes what? I
they
can't
put
hear you.
cups. The cups, paper dishes, any of those things, paper bowls.
Sit forward so it's
What
closer
they
to
do,
you.
can you hear me? I hope you can hear me now.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
the
okay.
problem is they use
Everything is-
starch. Starch
They
to
use starch,
stiffen,
yes.
to stiffen the paper, and that's usually made
Yes,
out of grain, grain that was soaked, the same
yes,
stuff
yes.
you used for paste as a kid in school. Paste and the starch are made the same way, basically.
Yeah, the glue that
And
they use.
it's not only used to hold the parts together, but it's also used to stiffen the cup and the bowl and the plate so they won't flop when you put your food into them. So during the year it's okay, but during Pesach, of course, even the most minute amount of chametz, the most minute amount of leaven is forbidden on Passover. It's much more strict, right? It's much more strict than even more strict than meat and milk, more strict than non-kosher food. Pesach is more strict than they are. Now, here's something.
Let me
that was brought up.
interject something.
Okay.
The stricter you are, with the more effort and energy you put into getting the chametz out and cleaning everything, it's a big job. But they say that the stronger effort you put into it through the year, at that time, that it will provide for you to it'll be much easier to maintain and retain a higher level of kashrus and all that during the year. Also, I wanted to say about the styrofoam that I don't use styrofoam for hot things. I use it for salad or something like that. And because we're going to be traveling, it's easier to schlep a bunch of stuff. Glass and pots and all that is too much to go schlepping for a week. So I just make sure I do not use styrofoam for anything hot. Therefore, it doesn't emit anything in the food. You wanted to finish up?
Yes, I wanted to. This is something that nobody would really consider. Rabbi Schusterman, I know his father. He's a very wonderful rabbi in California now. He's a Chabad rabbi and very, very sensible. He doesn't take on extra stringencies and say that extra things that people are not even aware of. But he does warn us about certain things that we don't know. So one of the things that he mentioned is very important. A roll of paper towels. He didn't specify any brand. What could be wrong with a roll of paper towels? Okay, when they finish rolling up the roll to be packaged, that they use starch to tape it closed. They use starch to tape the roll of paper towels closed. And then at the other end, after you finish the roll of paper towels, they use starch to paste on the end of the roll of the paper. So what you could use paper towels, but take off, he says, the first 3 sheets and don't use them for Passover. And the last 3 sheets, when you get to the last 3 sheets, don't use them either. So it's not an edible situation. That's something,
Wow.
Okay, that's good. I'm not saying it's new. I'm just saying that it's something that we want to pay attention
That's
to.
the first time I had ever heard about that.
So avoid, it isn't new, but he did mention, and that's why I'm mentioning it today too, because it's one of those concerns. Back to you,
I wanted to say something.
Sure.
Concerning recycling glass, which is fantastic for storage food, traveling with food. There are many things that we purchase, like sauce and stuff, that come in great glass. Costco sells bean salad with it's a kosher thing, and you can use those jars to transport whatever you need to transport, and you can reuse them over and over again. They are fantastic. So you don't have to. And also, number 5, plastic containers. They can be reused. because that is the safest of the plastic containers, the number 5. You have to look in the bottom. Usually yogurt will come packaged, and baby foods and things like that, delicate, more expensive items will come packaged in number 5.
I
And
see.
they're great for reusing and
But you-
freezing things.
But you have to be careful. The hummus issue comes up for Passover. There you may run into big trouble.
Yeah, I have
So don't
separate
worry,
everything
yeah,
for
you have to
Passover.
be careful. Everything
Well,
clean.
that's a different chapter.
I know,
I'm
but
talking
with
about
this
the
share,
one item
yeah.
that you can
Yeah.
reuse at obviously the proper time.
right,
You know,
right, right.
because you have to
Right.
be careful with Passover.
Right,
Yes,
right.
I know that.
Okay,
Every year I buy something else for Passover. And every year when Passover ends, I package it all up and stick it in the
For
back of the
next year.
closet.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
that
yeah, me too.
Passover has its own everything, you know? And that's
I start cleaning for Passover before Passover ends. So always cleaning, so make sure things get put away for next year.
right. No, it's very important because that way is a lot less. Even I used to cashier all my silverware. I used to cashier all my serving things. Everything was metal. And then I said, you know what? Why am I doing all this schlepping? Better I just buy a set of silverware for Pesach,
Exactly.
and that's it. So
It's just bring them out.
learn
Or
from
use
me.
throw away.
Learn from me,
Or use
everybody.
throw away.
Don't schlep, you know? Make things as simple and easy as
Oh,
possible.
Yeah. Simplify your life.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's so much better.
As you get older, we learn. We get wiser.
Yeah, right?
Hard to sleep when you're older.
I'm telling you, because, you know, time is of the essence and we don't have to be up until midnight. If we plan things out, this year, before I even started anything, I sat down with paper and I made a list of things I'm going to take with me. I made a list of things that have to be purchased. I made a list of the work that has to be done in the house to prepare for Pesach. And then I get up and start doing. Because then it's not like a dog chasing its tail, you know?
That's right. You have to think of yourself. You got to know how much gasoline you've got in your tank.
I'm
You
telling you.
just don't have it.
Yeah.
We're not 20 anymore.
Although I'm going to stay 20 forever. Yeah.
and I try to be get hard.
My car,
That's it.
my body is not what it used to be. I'm realistic.
You need to stay in line until your body tells you different.
Oh, what? Okay, I have a little excerpt from a book called The Enemy Within. It was written by the beloved rabbi that just passed away, Abraham Swartzky.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he was an amazing doctor and person and
Yeah.
rabbi, and he did a lot of
I
accomplishments.
have several of his books.
So I want to just read this little excerpt that I marked because I think everybody can learn from it. So it says, Rambam is very explicit, by the way, for those who might have the book. It's page 144. Okay? So it says, Rambam is very explicit in forbidding verbal abuse. Verbal abuse. So,
Verbal.
yeah.
Did you say
verbal, right. And I'm not saying anybody here is doing verbal abuse in their house, no. But everybody knows somebody who needs help. So, if anybody around you is in this situation, this is how you can share this with them. So it says, one cannot claim to be observant of Torah if a person violates this halacha any more than if one violates any other halacha. Just as eating meat with milk, look at that God incidents. Just as eating meat with milk together is prohibited, so is shouting at one's spouse or anybody, a friend or any person, of using insulting language that is prohibited altogether. So, nobody's here. Okay. Rabbi Avraham Pam says that antagonizing a person's wife is scriptural transgression. The Torah says that a person shall not aggrieve their fellow. That's from Leviticus chapter 25, verse 17. The Hinuk says, a child who is aggrieved complains to his father. A woman who is aggrieved complains to her husband. Sefer HaHinu, Mitzvah 65. If a husband aggrieves his wife, chas v'shalom, her agony is severe because she has no one to turn to. And I'd like to add that the tears of a woman go up to the right to the Avishter. They pass, pass go and don't collect $200, like Monopoly. It goes straight to Hashemayim, to Hashem. The tears of a woman. Anyway, the Talmud says that Hashem should take great care. No, the Talmud says that a husband should take great care not to aggrieve his wife because women are emotionally more sensitive, says Baba Metzia 59b, which is Gemara. The Talmud says an honored person is one who honors others. Ethics of the Fathers, chapter 4, verse 1, or sentence 1. An honorable husband is one who honors his wife. And that's Atara Lamelech, page 35. The Yetzer Hara, and we're always talking about that little hoodlum, the Yetzer Hara appears to have been effective in allowing people who are ritually observant but who are abusive at home to think that they are compliant with Torah. But in Judaism rejects any dichotomy of behavior. The notion of keeping God out of our everyday affairs is anti-heretical to Judaism. Torah requires know God in all your ways. This is Mishlei, or Proverbs chapter 3, verse 6. Indeed, the Talmud cites this verse as a principle upon which all of Torah is dependent, from the Gemara of Brachas 63a. We must combat the assault of the Yetzer Hara on family life by strengthening our resolve to know Hashem in all that we do. How we relate to members of our household is governed by halacha no less than is the observance of the Shabbos. So, attitudes and the utmost, I personally, on a personal recommendation level, say that whether it's a child or a husband or whoever it is in the home, everybody is due a certain level of respect. If somebody says something to someone that offends them, they should close the mouth, begin to judge the thoughts more intensely than ever, lock themselves in the bathroom if they can't hold back, but don't say anything until it's well judged out in your mind, in your heart, according to your knowledge of Torah. Because there are certain words that are like swords that, okay, an apology does help, but it just doesn't erase it completely. So it works much better not to do it all together. And I'm not saying that anybody does that. I'm saying that if you even know someone who is or does, so you can share that with them. Because we have to bring peace to this entire world. The Jewish people all need to turn wholeheartedly to Hashem. I encourage everybody in the class today to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, pray for the peace of Klal Yisrael, pray for all the Chilonim, the Jews that are not observant to the Torah, that Hashem should send out angels and everything that is necessary to bring them back. All the children who are off the derek, for whatever reason they went away from Torah, that Hashem should do things for them. Not, I never pray for anybody to have harm, no, but with a profound desire in their heart to know Hashem and to return back to Torah, that they should all come back. Any questions, comments, or good sayings at this point? No. Okay. So we have been on for 40 minutes, and I wanted to finish up with a couple of kasherist things for Pesach. For those who are in class that were not in the class last night, I am now giving a class. That would be Eastern time would be 9 p.m. Dickinson time is 7 p.m. I think California would be 6 p.m. on Tuesday night, maybe Thursday night, and definitely Sunday night until Pesach comes in. So if you have any Pesach questions, whatever, everybody is welcome to the class. And I'm going to try to do it on YouTube Live, but for the audio, we'll probably use the Zoom. So the Zoom or the phone class or whatever we can, or both, who knows. But last night we used, I think we used the Zoom and the YouTube. Some question somebody has? Carla?
Yes, I had a small question. I actually have to go, but I'll be watching the YouTube video when you send the link.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, it's only going to be like 2 more minutes anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Pesach, we know we have to get the bread out, the cake, the crackers, everything that is flour that water could possibly have got one little drop in, even pancake mix. We have to go through the closets and check each individual item. I highly recommend and encourage everybody to get the Blumenkrantz book for this year. It is a great miracle. I'm going to ask all the people that want to attend my class. Today's Monday. Tomorrow night will be a class. Everybody find either something in the Blumenkrantz book to share, or find a good question to ask, or share something that you learned about Pesach with the others. We're going to do more interaction in that class. And that way, from what you share, I can probably add some stuff, So, and my husband's here, so if I can't answer, he definitely most likely could answer. Let me see, is there anything else? Mitzia, you're good? Everything is good?
I'm sorry, I'm on the mute. Yes.
Okay, excellent. You had asked me a question the other day. I'm trying to remember what it was. All right. When I remember, I'll call you on the phone, I guess.
No, I think all the questions I had your husband answered yesterday, Rabbi.
Oh, Baruch Hashem. Thank you, Hashem. Look at that. You can see a rabbi without even leaving the house these days.
Yeah.
And, even though there's bad stuff, there's also a lot of good, Baruch Hashem.
We're glad to be of help. We're very glad to be of help.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And
what is the name of the book you mentioned?
My older one that I have, this is from 2017, so I'm waiting for this year's to come in. I'm putting it up to the camera here. Here's the camera.
What book is it? I can't see very well.
The Laws of Pesach, and then it should have this year's date on it, and it's by Rabbi Avraham Blumenkrantz.
Right. He passed away, but his family is continuing it, and they update it every year. This Rabbi Blumenkrantz Alva Shomer is a very wonderful rabbi.
It's the
Now,
most extensive Orthodox guide that will help you on Pesach. It's miraculous.
The kosher store that you see, probably, you have a Hebrew bookstore in Queens you can go to, a Hebrew bookstore?
Do you have a Hebrew bookstore you can go to?
No, not around
No.
my area, no. But I can go on the internet.
Okay.
You remember that one in New York?
Listen. I ordered it from a company called Judaica Spot. And I have an email from them somewhere. I can look for it and forward you the email from them so
Perfect.
that you can find them and order it too. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do for that. Anybody else need something, anything? Hashem, is there anything left that I need to share for right now? We went over in the last class. I also recorded it on YouTube Live. They don't have numbers of classes, but it said Pesach. It says 2021 Torah Class and Passover or Pesach. So you can look it up on YouTube on my channel, Yiska Levinson, and probably get the class if you missed it Sunday night. Okay? I'll try to find it in my emails and forward it to everybody again. That's about it for now. Tuesday night we'll continue to cover things of Pesach, new things that we haven't covered yet. In order for you to, I'm going to be sharing hopefully tomorrow night a lot of shortcuts. Like there's things you can do. For example, Shabbos night you have to eat some challah or bread. But if the house is already Pesach, what are you going to do with all the crumbs? So the shortcut on that one is to take a big plastic tablecloth, the kind that are disposable, cover the table, make sure everybody eats the challah over the table, and then just wrap it up and get rid of it in the garbage. And that way there's no cleaning and looking and searching for crumbs and da-da-da-da. That's an example of a lot of the things we'll be sharing Tuesday night as far as what I call Pesach shortcuts. What you can do. I don't use my oven. I never used it for cooking. I use it for storage.
Me too.
And
Why dirty it?
for our wedding, no, it's not dirtying it. It's that I moved into this apartment, and probably non-Jews used it, and who knows what they put in it. So I never used it, and I don't have a torch here, and I just got married and whatever. So what I did is for a wedding present for us, because we got married in November 1st, some students of his sent us an oven, a countertop oven. So that's what we have for cashering, and we really didn't put anything that would stick, just basically breadcrumbs that are like on the bottom of the thing. I lined everything with aluminum anyway, so it should be very easy to clean it. But
it is.
Baruch
Mine is
Hashem.
immaculately clean, and I've had mine for about 4 years.
Well, this
But
is
it's always used with foil, and that's my portable one, the one on top of the counter.
Yeah, I do
Doesn't
that
have
with
to
my
get dirty.
stovetop as well. My
And
stovetop has aluminum everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah. So the
That's
bottom.
my maid. Aluminum is my maid. It just helps me so much. And the big oven for 2 people, it's crazy to get it dirty.
But I was
So
sharing
I
this the other
think-
night. Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you. The other night, I was sharing that you can take a couple of closets and put the stuff that you're not going to use for Passover in the closet and tape it closed, and it becomes part of the stuff you sold in your contract for selling chametz on Pesach. And that way, because for 1 week, how much closets do you need, and how much stuff do you need? So just like we're traveling for the first days of Pesach, we're going to have to pack up certain things to take. Apart from that, I'm going to see what else I need. and the rest of the kitchen will tape up. So that the only real hard work would be boiling waters on the counters, going through the refrigerator and getting that ready, because everything, all counters, including refrigerator counters, are going to need boiling water. You clean it with soap, you then pass boiling water on it, and as I mentioned, instead of just putting aluminum, if you put paper towels under the aluminum won't get stuck, which makes it a whole nightmare to take off sometimes. Okay, so I'll leave you with that, and hope to see you all tomorrow night. Eastern Standard Time, New York and Baltimore will be 9 p.m. It's a 1-hour class.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
what did you say is California time?
I
6?
imagine 6 because for me it's 7.
Okay, 6 for me tomorrow.
Yeah.
7.
And we'll be on
Tuesday.
YouTube
What did
Live
you say?
and probably
Tuesday?
Zoom. Tomorrow's
Tomorrow.
Tuesday, right? Yeah.
Yes, tomorrow's Tuesday.
It'll be tomorrow night, 9 p.m. in Baltimore and 6 your time. Okay, she's in California. That's why it's 6 for her. Okay, I wish everybody perfect health for you and your families. I wish you blessings, happiness, joy, the whole root of joy and happiness is being grateful. Start when you don't feel happy as you should. Start verbalizing gratefulness to the Eibishter. Thank you that I walk, that I'm alive, that I breathe, roof over my head, food to eat. You'll be so surprised how the joy will just pop right in there.
Iska, where did you read from?
You're welcome.
From
Zyga
Rabbi
Ben-
Rebbetzin,
Zygazun, Abigazun, Zyga Bench. Is this Rebbetzin Katz?
Yes.
Oh, bless Hashem on my soul. I'm so glad I reached you. I wasn't sure if I did. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I got the message.
Whenever you're in a class and I'm talking about something and you can add to what I'm saying because you know probably a lot more than I do, so you should speak up, okay, to add to the knowledge, yes?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Zygabench. Kultiv. Bye. Rabbi, you want to get your phone?
Yeah.
Shalom, shalom. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
quote.
I'm
The
sorry?
quote from the book that you talked about, when we should have control of our mouth and what we say and how we speak as to not offend. And you mentioned the author of that book. Was that Tversky?
Yes. The book is by Rabbi Abraham J. Swertsky, MD. And the book is called The Enemy Within. If you want, I can give you the ISBN, or let me see if
Yes.
yeah, let me give you that. 1 second, I'm opening the book.
And it is Tversky, right?
Uh-huh. And it says the Judaic imprint for thoughtful people, the Shar Press, SHAAR. Now, inside here it says,
I didn't catch what you just said.
let me look inside here. I can probably give you better
You know
information.
what? You could take a picture of it and just send me the picture. And that way we don't have to repeat.
Well, first write this down.
Okay.
718
718
921
921
9000.
9000.
Metzora Publications is the Art Scroll. Art Scroll?
Art Scroll?
Yeah, artscroll.com. And it says published by Shar Press, SHAAR Press, distributed by Metzora Publications, which is artscroll.com.
Yes. I got a lot of this stuff.
So the only thing you need, I'll take a picture of the ISBN and send it to you.
Okay, and the cover of the book.
Is red, and this is what it looks like. You see?
See, I'm getting a glare. I can't see it.
Are you seeing it now? I don't know which way to make it better. How do we? How about that?
Yes. Perfect. Thank you, Iska.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yes. Because I will recognize it on the internet when I order it.
Oh yeah.
That's why I needed to look at what am I looking for?
That's fire engine red.
Yes. Thank you. You have a pleasant evening.
Oh mine, you too.
Blessings.
I wish you all only blessings. May you have so many blessings that you get overwhelmed with blessing. Yeah.
Wonderful. We should be so blessed, right?
Mine and to have tears in the eyes of joy because we're so happy that we can't hold it in. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Blessings. All right.
Shalom.
Shalom. Thank you.
Thank you everybody
so much.
for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay. We did it. Thank you, YouTubers, and Zoomers, and everybody who made this all possible because it takes both the learners and the teachers, and we all are a team effort, yes? And I love all Klal Yisrael and pray only for goodness for all of us. Side the bench.